Hello and welcome to the 33rd Annual Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Championships, coming to you live from the Gold Coast. I'm here with Matthew Blomley, coach of the Under-23s team, and we'll be commentating a game in the Mixed Reserve Division between Victoria and the Australian Capital Territory. So last time these teams met, Victoria came away 52-25, convincing winners. Matt Blomley, do you think it's going to be a repeat performance today?
Look, I think ACT's probably built across the week and looking to reduce the margin of that performance, but this Vic team's pretty slick for a reserves division mixed.
So absolutely, we see some long-established names in the game. Brent Holtham, Colin Croft, and James Hurton, notable names in the Victorian lineup. So the ACT come in relatively unknown. I believe it's their first entry back into the mixed division this year.
It's first one in approximately 11 years, I'd say, since the last time ACT had a team in this division.
Absolutely, and it's fantastic to have them back here. We'll quickly run through their side. So starting at goal shooter, we have Jason Smart, Carly Simons goal attack, Brianna Toes wing attack, Tammy Weatherburn at centre, Ben Todd at wing defence, Catherine Pagisok at goal defence, Tom Evans at goalkeeper, and substitutes Jim Teal, Renee Pickering, Bethany Woodstock and Emily Toes. Meanwhile for Victoria, we have Natalie Billings starting at goal shooter, Michael Dower goal attack, Kate Patterson wing attack, Colin Croft centre, Caitlin Byron wing defence, Jane Higgs goal defence, Trent Williams goalkeeper, and a nice extended bench there with Kate McCarthy, Alex Green, Brent Holtham, James Hurton, Hannah Kuhar and Meg Rosser all ready to take the court when needed. I believe we're still waiting on the umpires to get the captains in for a toss and choice of ends.
Looks like the coach from the ACT is really trying to fire up his team just before this game. Obviously they're going to want to reduce that margin from the last time they played.
Certainly. Victorian team utilising every last second to make sure they get their ball skills up to scratch. Saying a small but vocal contingent of supporters from the ACT, making sure their team's not forgotten about.
I think that as soon as you add some clappers in there and a feather boa, you've got a perfect group of people to support your team.
That's it. You can never have too many clappers.
It looks like we've got ACT. They're not quite sure which end they're going by the looks of it just yet.
And no one's filled us in, but it's become apparent that it's the Australian Capital Territory's centre pass to kick things off.
Despite which end they may have been starting to go towards.
Just minor details.
Oh, quick ball movement there from the goal attack.
After some deliberation, it's the Griffins throw in on the goal line. Nice little refeed there from Carly Simons.
She's just got to finish that shot though, get the action following through.
That's right.
Oh, terrific ball in from Croft to Dower.
And nice crisp connection, meeting Dower at the post.
ACT had a couple of chances there to put the shot in. You really do need to take advantage of that.
So absolutely. So Carly Simons needing to bring herself into that game and make sure she's converting those shots. Patterson to Croft.
Probably forcing that ball a bit too much there. Forcing to a shooter that was in a 2-on-1.
Absolutely. Not a clear setup there by Nat Billings.
I must say, it's always interesting when someone decides to do a bounce pass in the defensive goal third.
Right. So always a bold strategy. So Dower just getting the tip there in the crumbs. And again, that baseline cut by Dower. Lovely pressure there from Tammy Weatherburn, unfortunately just coming offside.
Much better delivery into the circle then.
And then a nice offload to Nat Billings at post there. So Nat, of course, is the Championship Division captain for Monash University Central, one of the Victorian Netball League teams this season. So a very handy pickup for this division.
Oh, absolutely. She's a solid goaler in terms of her style, her holds. Provides a real good target for them.
Absolutely. There we see Simons working the front space again. Intense pressure from Trent Williams over the shot, but another score brings the Griffins into the game. Patterson to Billings. Finds Croft in the corner.
Good angle there from the mid-court, working into the goals as well. Looking a bit shaky on that shot there, Dower. Would have been nice to see him settle. Put up those first couple of nice and settles, always better.
That's it. And then just the early break there too. Maybe some extra energy that Dower needs to burn off.
Look, this ACT attack line, they've got a bit of get up and go about them. I like the fact they're moving the ball quickly. They're re-offering. Let's see if they can keep that going for the entire game.
Absolutely. So all they're missing at the moment is some solid conversions. Jane Higgs just penalised under the post there, giving them another easy goal.
So that's the first goal for Jason Smart. I really think they need to try and work him into the game a little bit more.
Absolutely.
He's been covered very well so far by Williams.
Absolutely. Nice shot by Billings under pressure. So with Smart, I think it'll be important for the ACT to make sure the ball works for them and that ball movement will get results for them.
Yeah,
so
look, they've got a bit of speed about them. If they can work some of these mismatches through, I think it's really going to pay off for them.
Absolutely. The Griffins need to utilise their strength there, and in Smart v Williams down there at shooter v keeper, it'll come down to speed rather than height or strength.
Well, a bit shaky on that feed out from the shooter.
So a nice take from Caitlin Byron. Oh, just a misfeed there.
Look, people just seem to be running away from it a little bit there. I think they need to settle on that, give an actual clear option, and just go again. If you haven't got that first ball, have a second offer.
Absolutely. And we just saw it from both teams there, just people leading away from the ball, and as a result, the pass is either behind or in front too far.
Good finish there by Billings as well. She's doing a very solid job there for the start of the game.
Victoria will look to convert here for a double break. Nice handy advantage 4 minutes into the game.
I'd like to see a bit more communication between this Victorian front line. Croft and Patterson, I don't think are really communicating well. They're on top of each other a fair bit from transverse to top of the circle.
Yes. As we just saw then, both of them in the pockets. Patterson now swinging around to the top. But when we saw a lovely angle connection before, it'll continue to work for them if they can find that.
Terrific ball in from Croft then. Nicely flighted. Not too much on it. It's just what you need to some of these goalers.
So bit of a seasoned campaigner, Colin Croft's been around the men's netball community for a long time. So he's important to be a nice steady head down there for Victoria, down both ends.
I think that should be a value for this Victorian team as well, is that a number of the players have played together for a few years here. So they've got some heads that know how to play with each other, a couple of fresh faces. I think that might be a bit of the difference in the end in this game.
So both being local Victorians, we hope so for their sake.
But on the ACT note, love their logo, the Griffins logo.
The Griffins logo.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
It's a very imposing animal, the Griffin, or mythical creature, whatever you like. Those of you playing at home, send us a tweet in and correct me on that. So you can do that at Amna Men's Netball, I believe is our handle. Amna Men's Mixed, I should say. AMMNA Men's Mixed.
And I wouldn't mind a little hashtag Ask Riley.
Look, if you like, I say we are looking to break the internet, break all sorts of records here. So if you want a hashtag Ask Riley, feel free to send that over. I am extremely partial to a hashtag.
We're picking up a few penalties now in defence, which allowed ACT to just get the ball through cleanly.
That's it. A nice shot there from Simons.
She's settled now with her shot, it looks like. Those first couple, a bit nervous, seems to have found her range.
Absolutely. Just opting for the lower ball there. Playing on Williams's height, keeping it out of his way.
It was always a risky ball from well off the circle.
But it's paid dividends for the Griffins.
Can they get a turnover here? That's the question.
Oh.
And they can.
And we see the wax on, wax off technique there from the umpire indicating that Colin Croft was not wholly in the centre circle.
Look, as a centre, that's unforgivable, really.
That is, and it's a coach killer. Oh.
You only need the 1 foot in nowadays. It's
That's
not
right.
the 2 feet. You should never have a problem with that.
No, that said.
Tips it to get it back. Terrific.
That's right.
Oh.
So a lovely read there from Tom Evans at goalkeeper.
Bit of a game of volleyball at the moment.
That's
Everyone
right.
just wants to get a tat. First hit it over the net.
That's right. Dower decides to put two hands on it and put it through the hoop. Weatherburn.
Ooh, I think she just needs to stay a bit more upright and let that ball go. There's been some solid drives there, but you got to let that ball go. Oh.
So, and a nice read there by Jane Higgs. So Higgs has been in a lot of the action yet to get 2 clean hands on an intercept, but is certainly making the Griffins think about everything.
Oh, definitely making them work for each of those balls. And anytime you can make a goal attack move for another 3 or 4 balls, I think you're doing a pretty good job. Good coverage there. Oh,
great cover.
A little bit lost for the last minute,
Smart
but nice
from mid-range. So Dow with a long preliminary lead there.
Bit of miscommunication in that attack line. There was a terrific lead coming from Kate Patterson. Nat Billings probably didn't quite see her. Came out, drew her defender with her.
That's it. Just force that turnover there. Weatherburn and Simons linking together in the pocket. Drawing the obstruction on Trent Williams.
Yeah, I think Williams going to need to adjust his defence slightly down there. He's picked up a couple of penalties in a row now.
Absolutely. So, and those who have been around the men's netball community a long time are all too familiar about how damaging a short circle can be. I say Daniel Cook and Dan Ryan doing the job in 2013 for Victoria in the Open Men's Division. So it just goes to show, although the game is progressing to the tall goal shooter as your typical setup, it's not everything, and there is certainly other options.
There is, as that just showed. If you've got short goalers you can put up from range, they're pretty hard to beat.
That's it.
Oh, I'd really like to see Billings finish that lead there. Not just expecting it at the end of it.
And I'd like to see Evans run onto that ball and try and keep it in a little harder.
Yes, I think should have absolutely eaten that up. There was a good opportunity for a turnover there. Good rebound, though. There were some good hops there from Evans. Look, when the ACT let the ball go, geez, they're looking not too bad at all.
So just catching the Victorian defence unawares there.
Yeah, there's a few eyes down there.
Lovely transition. So Brianna Toes at wing attack starting to make her impact on the game as well.
Oh, that's terrific ball movement. That style does remind me a bit of a former Victorian and Australian player, Jacinta Todd.
Yes.
Willing to let the ball go, has another solid drive. Similar nuggety size as well.
That's right. And arguably some of the fastest feet in the competition, Jacinta Todd. Very hard to replicate.
Here's another opportunity, though, for the Griffins.
So nice transition.
If they can let that go.
So Smart coming out of the circle.
Oh, terrific pop. And she's
Nice
found her
shot from
range now,
Simons.
hasn't she?
That's right. Carly Simons looking very dangerous. And we're back on centre now. So the Griffins refusing to write this match off.
I think that bit of a rev up there coach gave him at the start of the game, you know what, maybe paying off.
Appears to be paying dividends so far. Dower gets a steadier for Vic.
He's a solid goaler, Dower. I quite like. Slightly unconventional with some of his movements and his action, but tends to finish off quite well. It's a good swing.
So Simons just working that front ball again, even drawing Trent Williams out.
Oh, looking for the offload, but then, you know what? Go to post.
So if you can shoot like that, there is no need to offload. None whatsoever.
I wouldn't mind them bringing the shooter into the game a little bit more, but I'm just not sure that he's positioning well for that at this stage.
No, not at this stage. And the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, might be working for the Griffins so far.
Yeah, if I was a Victorian coach at the break, I'd be talking about a bit more pressure on that goal attack, especially on that ball where she pops in the circle.
So absolutely. Carly Simons doing very well to get the ball where she wants in that front space.
Oh, bit of a half-hearted drive in the centre there from Tammy Weatherburn. Would have liked to see her just finish that lead. Trent Williams should have eaten that up as well.
It also should have.
Oh, nice hold.
Toes decides to leave it. The umpire backs that decision. Draws the contact, puts it down and says, nah, mate, all yours.
Carly Simons Finishes once again.
That's exactly why.
She's got a nice arc on her shot. I don't mind the bit of the knee drop and arm like that.
No.
It's given her a nice arc. They're going in nicely. Oh,
Oh,
terrific work by the centre. No backup, unfortunately. All Victoria there.
some fantastic athleticism to see. So often we do get caught up in the mixed division about the athleticism of the men, but it's great to see the women taking the heroic, like, stay offside, centre keeping kind of take. I think it's excellent.
And that's where the real value of this mixed competition comes in. You find those mismatches where a number of the women in through the middle will absolutely outmatch the men through there. Oh, not many options there for ACT up front.
A nice drive from Toes and great ball transition. Weatherburn doing well under pressure there.
Oh,
just a fumble from Simons.
Not the best delivery.
No.
I think Jason Smart was in a bit two minds of who he was delivering that to.
Oh, just a misfired pass there from Caitlin Byron.
There didn't seem to be a lot in that. I'd like to see them let that contesting go with the rest that's been happening in this game. It's been a nice, clean game overall. Let the players play. Terrific finish there from Nat Berlins.
So then Victoria looking to consolidate and make it a clean break of 2 goals here. Just over a minute remaining.
Definitely want to score here. Oh,
nice touch there from Tom Evans.
He seems to be getting a pretty good read on the ball, Evans. I would like to see him cut off the angle a couple more times on it and maybe just finish off that. He'll definitely get a few more intercepts if he does that across the game.
Certainly. I think, if anything, the Victorian team are underutilising the mismatch in the goal attack in Dower versus Catherine Pagesok at goal defence.
But they seem to, the mismatch the other way seems to be working really well for him. Nat Billings is more than holding her own and it's providing a clear target for the Victorians. Well, not a lot of time left. Victoria probably need to let go of the ball a little bit here.
Just
bit of confusion by the looks of it from some of the players.
However, no time stoppage, so Victoria will be very eager to get this down. We're well and truly into the last minute of play here.
Well, they're playing nice and settled, and they're not trying to force it.
So certainly eating up the clock.
Bit too much of eating up the clock, I'd say.
And that's all she wrote on the first quarter. So quarter time here in the reserve mixed division. Victoria leading ACT 12-11. We'll be right back after this ad. Hello and welcome back to the 33rd Annual Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Championships, coming to you live from the Gold Coast Sports and Leisure Centre. We're currently 1 quarter into a mixed reserves match between Victoria and ACT, with Victoria leading 12 goals to 11. Matt Blomley, it's been a tight contest so far. What are your thoughts?
It really has. ACT's gone through their goal attack a number of times. Carly Simons, accurate shot after those first couple of hesitant ones. But tell you what, Nat Billings at the other end has been a fair target for them as well.
That's right. And we know that the previous margin last time these two teams played was 27 goals in favour of Victoria. So do you think ACT can sustain this?
I would like to think so. I think they're going to be a bit more determined. No doubt the first time they played each other, it was one of the first hit-outs to the ACT, probably finding their feet a little bit. These guys look like they're really here to play today.
Absolutely. And we've just had a few positional changes, both in the same position, wing attack for Victoria and wing defence for ACT. Renee Pickering coming on for ACT and Kate McCarthy swapping for Kate Patterson.
We've also seen Brent Holtham come in the middle, swapping with Colin Croft. Maybe trying for a different combination there, just to let the ball go, maybe a bit more communication.
That said, ACT jumped the gun and come away with the first score of the game. Of the quarter. My mistake.
A longer shot from Dower there. Gets his own rebound though, terrific.
Lovely chase up there.
ACT were just caught with their eyes down a little bit defensively. Allowed that rebound to pop through.
So Toes, extremely dynamic.
That's a terrific drive by Weatherburn. Well read, saw the space, took it.
And Williams doing much better there, coming off the body.
Yeah, I dare say his coach said to him this quarter, you've got to get around. You're getting caught too much on the body, and that's why you're getting those calls.
That's right. Saying taking Trent Williams out of the play will be vital for the Griffins' success here.
It's a terrific hold over the shot. Got to rip that rebound. Jane Higgs doing what she does best, bringing it out of defence. Just needs that connection though.
So McCarthy just off balance there. So despite the nice quick transition, and Pickering taking the crumbs.
Terrific hands, Dower. McCarthy probably trying to find her feet.
A fantastic roll into backspace there from Michael Dower. Catherine Paysock just being called out there for a penalty. My apologies to the Paysock family. So it's certainly not, doesn't look like what it sounds like, but we'll be calling it correctly from now on. So
here's another chance for the Griffins. They're just, where are the options? Driving through. Good connection on the end of the ball from Toze though.
So Brianna Toes providing some great strong drives there, as well as Tammy Weatherburn in offence. So the Griffins being very patient around the circle. Kicking it back a number of times, just waiting for that right option to pop open. So Simons to Smart. Teal even.
We're going off what the score sheet says, and let's stick with that for the time. Maybe he's wearing one of his teammates' shirts.
That's right. Too many shirts. Regardless, it's a goal to the Griffins. Levelling the scores at 13 apiece.
A bit too much on that ball. Just a bit of finesse on that. It was a terrific drive, just needs to now get that back defensively.
Absolutely.
Here's another opportunity for the Griffins.
So Victoria setting up very clearly one-on-one here. Determined that good defensive pressure should lock the ball down. It's
good hands by Billings.
Touch by Billings. Holton called out on the obstruction. Struggling to find the options though, the Griffins.
Yeah, they just need to back themselves and actually drive at the ball a little bit more.
That's it.
Stop waiting for someone else to make the move.
Certainly. So Brianna Toes just drawing the penalty at the top of the circle.
Great release wide. Probably needs to peel out there, Smart.
And Simon's wanting the refeed. Very comfortable on that baseline.
Just edges out. Great rebound by Williams.
I was saying, again, fantastic athleticism from Tammy Weatherburn.
I've been a fan of what I've seen of her so far this game.
Absolutely.
She's tenacious in there. She keeps having a go. She's picking her battles reasonably well, but also very much keeping that Victorian team accountable through the middle.
Absolutely.
No. What an intercept.
Renee Pickering having amazing impact in her first 4 minutes on court.
And that is what you want from a wing defence. Tight on their player, force them under some pressure, but then have a go at the ball.
That's right, the correct choice of intercept. Toes, a lovely dodge.
Simons and Toes are linking together very well at the moment. It's just those couple of times they've been called out, but you know what? I think they've got a bit of experience playing together, it looks like.
Great touch from Higgs there.
Can they lock it in here now?
Once again.
Oh, great coverage, Higgs, but it does then give the one-on-one.
That's right. The Griffins staying so patient until they need to, and then just finding that gap at the moment.
And that can be the key sometimes. Don't force it. Have a lot of patience. Wear down that defence. Nice finish. A bit of a knock to the head to Williams there. He's breathing a bit hard, but he seems to be okay.
Absolutely.
I really would like to see Jason Smart peel out of there when he's on top of the ball, not getting that fee.
Absolutely.
He's sitting in there a bit long. If he peels out of that, I think Simon's going to come through for that sweep.
Certainly.
Oh, there's some good early pressure happening down the attack end for...
ACT also electing to go man on man or woman on woman. Sometimes both. Toes takes a tumble, but straight back up, which is great to see.
Victoria trying to find a bit of energy again. Yeah, probably a little bit too close there. Tom Evans trying his luck with the umpire, seeing if he can get away with it. Not on this occasion. Terrific save by Holtham
Just
there.
seeing Evans there behind play, struggling with what appears to be an ankle injury.
Oh, yes, he is limping a fair bit, isn't he?
It's a serious blow to the team if it is.
I don't think he landed very well on that last attempt.
No, and you can see he's very, very ginger on it.
Perhaps found a foot. Oh, no, that's not looking very good.
That's right. Fundamental sin there. Kate McCarthy just breaking on the centre pass. The offensive centre pass, that is.
Yes, Dave Mills and I spoke about these breaks in the last time we were commentating together. There's really no excuse for breaks. You need to give yourself the space at either end.
Certainly not.
And ACT capitalise. They're really staying in the game at the moment, and really, I think they're a good chance to make it their own.
Believe so as well.
Go to post there, I'd say Simons. Back, she just needs a backer shot a bit earlier. Look up. She's probably a little bit hesitant early on that shot. Needs to back herself. She's shown in the last quarter that she can sink those.
Nice touch there from Smart.
Nice better letting the ball go there. And the mismatch, we spoke about that earlier. They need to look at working that male-female mismatch a bit, but on that occasion, absolutely paid off for them.
That's right. Coach David Hare should be identifying that that's an area they want to be building in. So unfortunately, the injury here just bringing Tom Evans to the sideline.
And this is an interesting tactic by the Griffins. They've only got the one male on court now.
So Bethany Woodstock taking the court at goalkeeper.
Now, I'm not sure within the mixed rules where this is allowed to only... I believe you're meant to have at least the two guys on court. And the umpires appear to be trying to clarify that.
Absolutely.
There might be a bit of confusion. The score bench has let them know.
So it's my understanding that conventionally you do need at least two men on the court. So it appears our score sheet was filled out incorrectly. We've actually got Jim Teal going down the defensive end now, and Jason Smart actually coming on in the game as goal shooter.
Unfortunately, sometimes we get given the wrong information. We do our best work. Hopefully, people have the right shirt on as well. We can't always guarantee that.
But it's fine, because we only broadcasted to a national audience and no one was... Yeah.
Well,
it's just the entire nation. It's fine.
Oh, it's an international audience. The internet, right?
Oh,
internet.
That's much better.
Wherever the internet goes, we go too.
That's it. Also, we're on Instagram. I love Instagram. I love a hashtag. I love a filter. I love all sorts. And you can find us on under the username Australian Men's Netball. Be sure to check that out too if you've got a spare second. Oh, cheeky offside from Byron goes unnoticed by the umpire.
Oh.
Nice, quick, nice.
I'm sure we've all done it at wing defence before.
I think we all have.
Oh. Smart just caught with his eyes down there. He wasn't quite sure where the ball was going, but terrific delivery.
That's it, and a nice rollout to finish those prelim moves there for Jason Smart. Then McCarthy. Billings. From range, makes a terrific shot.
Nothing but net. Love seeing those go in like that.
That's right, and just what the Victorian team needs right now is a steadier.
Now, this is remaining close at the moment. Another thing we can expect to be close tonight is the 8 p.m. game. New South Wales versus Victorian Open. New South Wales have been in a bit of form in that division.
So, it's been the Giant Killers. New South Wales getting their first victory over Queensland for 2 years, I believe. So it's exciting to see that. And this could effectively be the battle for first place on the ladder. I say with Victoria and New South Wales both sitting at 1 loss apiece.
Looking forward to hearing the commentary of Sue Gordian and Junior Levi. Junior Levi being previous Australian captain and also Queensland goal shooter and goalkeeper, terrific player. Looking forward to listening to his comments.
Absolutely. I'm sure Junior will have a lot of interesting and insightful feedback for the game.
Well read by Byron there. She just came from nowhere. Popped up. ACT had no idea.
And a nice feed there from McCarthy. Great touch.
And finished as well. Oh, that's an interesting play there.
Oh,
A bit of bodies colliding. I think there's a bit of feet caught up amongst each other. So we've seen Dower also go down. Tries catching the ball from the ground.
That's right.
Unfortunately, not quite the option available.
So Catherine Paysock's called the time here.
She's holding her knee, which is never a promising sign. I don't like seeing players when they're holding their knee like that. She ripped the bib straight off. She's obviously not overly confident. But the umpires appear to be giving her a bit more than 30 seconds perhaps to get off.
And if the bibs are off, traditionally you need to get going.
Oh, she's standing up on it. She's getting a bit of steadiness.
Okay, well,
maybe it was just a bit of shock of the knock.
So weight bearing is a good sign. Regardless, Paysock will go to the bench, which will cause much less headaches for me, which is awesome. Woodstock onto goalkeeper, and Jim Teal moving from goalkeeper to goal defence.
And Teal did a quality toweling up job then. You cannot ask that from more players. They need to go up and towel up after their teammates.
That's right. And a man of all positions is now goalkeeper, goal shooter, goal defence, and head towel boy.
He's looked a bit more comfortable on that drive than I must say he did in his moves in shooter.
And a fantastic link there from Toes to Simons. Back to back to back to back to back. Unfortunately unable to convert. I think we're noticing down the Griffins' end is that there's just not that scoreboard pressure that there was in the first 15 minutes of the game.
No, Simon's gone missing at the moment. I'd really like to see her step up her game again. She was a clear target for them. She was the one doing most of their shooting. She needs to find herself back in the game.
Absolutely. And
another finish there from Dower. He's not missing many now.
So Dower expanding his range there as well, becoming a bit more confident, and that can only mean more dangerous things. Smart with the refeed.
The interesting one-hand shot. Probably not the best idea against someone like Williams who's got tall hands.
Absolutely. The umpire just reinforcing to Jason Smart that when the contact's called, you need to stand out of play immediately.
I'd really love to see ACT start letting the ball go like they did in that first quarter. That was when they really started keeping the ball going. They weren't worried about what the defence were doing so much. They got the ball through. That's what Victoria's started to find now.
Absolutely.
I think Byron's had more of an impact in this quarter.
Certainly.
As well at wing defence. She was a bit missing in that first quarter. Coach giving her confidence, giving her the quarter there, probably saying to her, look, I want a bit more from you.
That's it. And what's more noteworthy with Caitlin Byron, I think, is that she's been a lot cleaner this quarter too, spending less time out of play and just picking her moments to come in hunting for those balls. So she's definitely quieted the impact of Brianna Toes in the last 5 minutes. As if she heard as Toes finds the ball on the circle.
Now, I would have liked to seen Simons step that up, maybe put the shot up. She's got a good base, good action, but she was trying to get better range.
I think we would have all liked to have seen that. I say, unfortunately, Jane Higgs actually just getting a little touch on that shot there.
Yeah. Look, I think if you've got a player out of play, you've got to be willing to go to post.
I think so. But it is a challenge picking that niche, especially when you're right on the circle edge. They're finding Michael Dow very easily of late,
Yeah.
the Victorian team.
As there's a bit more coverage on Billings this quarter, Dow seems to have really opened up. He's taken advantage of it, and he's getting to run free a bit more.
It's fantastic work by the Victorian defensive lineup the Victorian offensive lineup to recognise that Dow has become isolated. And again, so Dow sweeping front while the two stay back and guard the post. Nice rebounds from Billings.
And 2.5 minutes to go. They just pushed the lead out to 6 by the looks of it. Unless I'm mistaken, my count is not always great. Like most players, I can count to 3 and that's about it.
Well, 3's enough. Sometimes 4.
Whatever gets me a hell ball, I'm happy with.
It's a nice transition there. Weatherburn to Toes. Simon's working overtime out of the circle now as well. Finds Weatherburn in the pocket. So Trent Williams matching up much better there on Jason Smart.
Yeah. Simons probably didn't choose the best avenue to connect there. She went the long way and then was running. Would have liked to seen a front sweep.
Certainly. Brent Holtham there just getting picked up for a cheeky replay ball, trying to gain as much ground as possible, just batted the ball to his advantage. Unfortunately, the umpire said no dice.
I'd like to see a bit more spark here, a bit more energy.
So ACT need a goal.
And it's not coming from this passage of play,
Not
unfortunately.
right now. So it'll be Williams to Higgs.
Jane Higgs, she's terrific through there, looking to connect, making the work so easy for the attackers down the other end.
Providing a lot of drive through the centre.
Great hands.
So Jim Teal elevating extremely well there. And a nice read. So Renee Pickering again coming out with a crucial intercept for the Griffins.
She read that well. She stayed onside. Perfect from a wing defence.
Very impressed with what we've seen from her so far.
The more she can do to shut down Patterson in wing attack, McCarthy in wing attack, I think it's really going to be value for ACT. As we say, she makes a great attempt.
So
Billings
close.
rips that in.
Says, get out of the way, I got things to do. There
And
she
finishes
goes.
it. She sees how much time's go. There's not long. She goes to post, sinks it, not a hesitation.
And that'll be all she wrote on the quarter. Victoria flexing their muscles there and extending the lead, 25 goals to 17. We'll be right back after this ad break. to the Gold Coast Sports and Leisure Centre. We're here live streaming the 33rd Annual Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Championships. We're currently halfway through a game in the Mixed Reserve Division between Victoria and the ACT. Victoria leading 25 goals to 17. Matt Blumley, what do you think was the X factor there for Victoria extending their lead from 1 goal to 8?
I really think they got on top of it defensively. They started getting hands to the ball. The changes for ACT didn't help the Griffin situation, but Victoria absolutely capitalised. Nat Billings is now out of goal attack, which would be great to see. She was a clear target for them in goals, but Michael Dower started finding his range and he really worked those mismatches where he could.
Certainly. Interesting to see Dower come off of Victoria after such a dominant quarter. However, we see the injection of Alex Green in at goal shooter and also James Hurton coming onto the game at goalkeeper, among a host of changes.
I think the fresh legs should help Victoria. They've had fresh legs all game. Maybe that was the difference last quarter. A couple of people running out. Patterson determined that that ball was hers on that. Told no by the umpire. You're a bit late. Not quite the start that we needed from ACT. Simons, again at that end, she took a couple to find her feet.
That's right. And here's hoping Carly Simons can bring herself back into this game.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Truly the X factor in the first quarter. Patterson just caught stepping on there with nothing to throw to.
Alex Green, terrific fight there. That's what happens when attackers play defense.
Well, the umpire's chosen to call the contact. So Emily Toes comes into the game at goal defence as well.
Well, I think ACT must be running out of a few options, having a few injuries. Again, running the 2 guys on court only.
Absolutely.
But it certainly hasn't taken them completely out of the game.
Oh, by no means. With that said, Victoria finding it a lot easier to convert their scoring opportunities. And I was almost made to eat my words there.
I think a bit of early mishandling from Green. I think he wasn't quite ready for that. Despite the drive, his hands just weren't in the right spot.
Absolutely.
That's a terrific drive. Oh, well read by Hurton.
It's a very nice read there
Teal,
from James Hurton. It
zigged or zagged, but unfortunately didn't quite go where they wanted. Oh,
Brent
nearly got away with a sneaky offside there. Wing fence stepped back on court. Umpire just picking up at the right time.
Extremely unfortunate for Brent because he got off cleanly. He managed to keep the ball in within his allotted thirds and then stepped onto the wrong piece of hardwood just there.
And that was a great ball in by Simons.
Needs to finish. Yeah. And does so. So margin remains 8.
Oh, great hands. Nat Billings, good goal attack defense there.
So Nat Billings deceptively tall there, and as I say, once you add a vertical leap into it, it's all the more scary for opposition.
Simons just waiting for that obstruction, steps it in. Maybe should have kept where she was, had a better arc from there. Needs to convert those.
Absolutely. It's fundamental for the Griffins that they need to start putting some scoreboard pressure on. Just the 6 goals in the second quarter won't be enough to win them this game.
No, absolutely not. They were with Victoria in the first. They certainly showed signs in the second. They got to back themselves. Maybe that's just a little bit of experience or lack thereof coming through. A bit more experience in this Victorian team showing.
So we must remember we are at day 5 of the competition here. There's tired bodies and tired minds out there. So it can make all the difference in some of these crunch games.
And that was probably demonstrated quite well then. A bit of tired bodies, maybe not making the right choices even for Victoria. I think some people are looking forward to a bit of a break.
Absolutely.
Oh, terrific ball.
So Renee Pickering proving she can be very damaging from all aspects of the mid-court. Nice rebound by Higgs.
And drives out. She wants that ball again as soon as she's had the rebound as well.
Victoria finding a lot of space in that centre third on a defensive transition.
And Green just sucks in Woodstock with the heel pivot. She had got a distance. He goes, no thank you, I'm going to bring that in a little bit more.
Also noteworthy that Alex Green has a shooting technique that involves the non-grounded foot placed further forward. And so And sometimes it can be interpreted as an obstruction there, so just another feather in the cap.
Just give the umpires something to think about.
Absolutely.
Always wise. Oh.
So Brent Holtham coming in there and smacking that one out of court.
Oh, good hands by Billings. She's a difficult person to pass around, must say. Oh, Hurton, terrific. Comes from behind, comes around cleanly, takes the ball.
So appeared out of nowhere there, James Hurton.
Oh, bit of miscommunication in this attack line now. I think they just need to work it out. Bit of patience, work themselves both back into the game.
Absolutely, and Victoria having the majority of the possession in this quarter, far and away, but only converting 2 goals to 1 at this stage.
Oh, toes being called for the offensive contact there. Bit of a push-off.
Doesn't seem particularly impressed about it either, but I can't blame her on that one.
Yeah, attacking players never seem to think that they're pushed off, but
Absolutely not. I don't think it ever happens.
it doesn't seem to be a lot of room in this attack line at the moment. Need to get some separation, some better angles.
Oh,
just
and
passing
again,
right on his toe.
So McCarthy just expressing her frustration there. Saying again, just man on man. Patterson and Pickering quite separated in the centre third, but she's bodied up now. A nice drive from Pickering.
I'd like to see McCarthy just take a bit of heat off the ball when she's delivering it in. A couple of these, she's given a bit too much. There could be a little bit of tiredness that she's trying to force a bit too much. Take a breath.
Certainly.
Easy release.
Could also be affiliated to changing combinations. As I say, obviously David Hare has the flexibility of 13 players in his squad. Whether these changes can be at times detrimental to the team's rhythm.
Yeah, maybe there's been changes at each of the breaks. They haven't been, just as they've found their feet, they've been changed.
Absolutely.
No time for them to consolidate there.
Absolutely.
And apparently my English skills are also dropping off.
That's okay. Everyone's tired. Tired bodies, tired minds. So with that said, it's also important to rest players that you think you might need later in the week. I say Victoria doing quite well in the mixed reserves division and will be looking for a finals berth.
Yeah, I imagine so. And they've got 2 terrific options for their female goalers, Billings and Rosser. So I think either one of them can step up at any time.
Absolutely. And we've previously seen Trent Williams in recent years take on a shooting role as well. So Victoria's not wanting for options in the shooting circle.
No. But that can also become a bit of a problem if a few too many options there. Maybe the combinations aren't quite settled.
Absolutely.
So it's taken a little bit for them to work out what each other are actually doing. Ooh, just a bit hesitant on that shot, bit shaky. Just needs to back himself. Go to post, you've got that, Teal.
Certainly.
Ooh. Higgs wants it over.
Ball touched by Higgs though, and then pulled in.
Controlled it though.
Gained a lot of ground just then.
No. I'm unsure if the umpire called the contact or time there. Seemed to be a little bit of both.
Either way, Victoria will be looking to take it.
Again, Alex Green putting that foot forward, hoping the umpire's going to go.
Really showing the
umpire
umpire
definitely
the
obstruction.
distance. Really showing the umpire the distance there. Good pull in there by McCarthy. Oh,
very lucky then, I think, McCarthy.
Little touch on the chest there for Ben Todd.
Just saying, hey, I can see you there.
That's it.
Now I'm going to pass it past you.
That's right.
Good
Turn
defense
for
there.
the Griffins. Almost immediately back in the hands of Victoria. Just a back step for Alex Green.
Toe's not happy there in goal defence. I don't think she liked being called for the hold.
No.
But you've got to find yourself off the body.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a nice option. Weatherburn, terrific feed.
Good Teal.
And that's a finisher after. Although, just finishes with that shot. Calls time. They're making a change here.
Very interesting.
Oh,
Brent Holtham quickly coming to the bench and saying, give me my other left shoe. I got things to do.
Certainly an unconventional thing to occur, throwing your shoe over the sideline.
But
when they're fluoro like that, they're very noticeable.
That's right. That is our first and only shoe change timeout that we've seen so far these nationals. As far as I'm aware,
It's something you more expect from something like triathlon, isn't
yes.
it? A quick shoe change.
Meanwhile, Kate McCarthy just did a triple jump on court. I think she did a hop, step and a jump, turned, and no one appeared to make anything of it. But regardless, Victoria comes up with the score.
Look, I'm happy to see a pirouette, land it, and stick it. Just got to make sure that you're not going to get that 1 point deduction.
That's right. And the judges do like a nice clean landing. So we also see Jason Smart coming back on court just to replace Jim Teal there at goal shooter.
Oh, terrific drive, Holtham. Clearly that new left shoe is paying dividends straight away.
Absolutely.
He did not slip on that at all.
Then we also saw the swing back to middle channel with Patterson getting the ball at the top of the circle. It's fantastic play from Victoria.
Billings just getting clarification on where to take that free pass.
Nice swing over the top.
Green creating something a bit different, coming out of the circle as a shooter.
Oh. A lot of body contact going on in the circle, but Billings finds it cleanly under the post in the end.
I like a bit of that in the circle, actually. Players holding strong, not being afraid to go body, but no malice in it, just strong bodies.
You've got to have a bit of biff.
Bring back the biff, to quote Reg Rajan from the old NRL footy show days.
Nice take from Patterson.
Oh, terrific delivery.
Billings just continues to be a viable target in the shooting circle, and is making no mistake. She's capitalising on every ball she's receiving there.
Yeah. We're really starting to see the lead extend out now. The Griffins, they've really lost feet. They've really lost drive through that attack. What do you think they're going to say at that break?
I say it's going to be tough. I think the Griffins coach is just going to have to find some way to motivate his players. I say they appear flat. I say they're also they've lost that drive, I think, in the goal third. I say they're really finding it hard to get into circle, and then when it's coming into circle, things like this are happening, and we're seeing turnover after turnover in favour of Victoria.
That was terrific hands by James Hurton.
So a nice dish there from Billings to Green. Should make no mistake from this distance.
Toes really needs to adjust her distance there. She's been called a few times for obstruction. Take the attention away from yourself in the circle if you're a defender. You don't want the umpire calling for obstruction too many times.
So we just saw a nice steadier ball there from McCarthy.
Oh,
not there from Patterson, but Billings. Billings proving she's a jack of all trades at the moment. She's playing sweeper, holder, crummer.
Disher, hair flicker.
Disher, hair flicker.
And I don't mind a good hair flick in the attack. Just lets everyone know that, you know, they're part of the action.
So in the mix, and occasionally the men's game, you can't go past a nice hair flick.
That's a much better drive, but well read by Hurton.
So James Hurton just ate that one for breakfast.
That's what happens when you narrow your vision in attack. You miss that player coming out. You've telegraphed it. Beautifully read as a keeper.
Absolutely. And Billings. Again, Victoria really starting to push themselves out. 17 goals the difference at the moment. And persistent breaking there by Brianna Toes, drawing the attention of the umpire. Just a caution being handed out.
Don't think Toes was really sure what happened there. She wasn't quite out of place. No. She was kind of amongst it. Hopefully she understands it enough to adjust to that. You don't want to be drawing the umpire's attention.
We hope so.
Can ACT do something with this centre pass? Oh, terrific swing. Meeting the top circle for Weatherburn.
Pickering.
Oh, Pickering, my mistake.
That's it. Both with sensible buns, though. Easy mistake. And Smart finds it under the post for a score. Just the third goal for this quarter for the Griffins.
I wouldn't mind seeing Pickering showing a bit more of what she did in wing defence there, having a go at a few of these balls defensively.
Certainly. And there we see a nice challenge from Pickering.
Terrific hands.
It's like she heard you, Blomley.
Look, sometimes my voice doesn't get heard through the ethers. A number of my players certainly claim not to hear it when I'm yelling at them. So unlucky there, just bouncing off her foot.
Just to clarify for our viewers, Matthew, you are coaching the Victorian 23 and under men's team at this year's Nationals. How are your boys going?
Look, the boys haven't been travelling too badly. A couple of off games on the second day. They still won those. They had a loss to Queensland yesterday afternoon, but sorry, the day before, but they've certainly regrouped in the last couple of days, playing some terrific netball which is great to see in that age group.
Fantastic. And will there be a finals berth for your boys?
Yeah, we're sitting in the top 2 at the moment. Queensland, the other one up there. Should be a very interesting finals series.
Excellent. It'll be great to see Victoria redeem that title in the 23 and under division. So meanwhile, Victoria continue to put defensive pressure on the Griffins in their defensive third.
Now Higgs can just using her body to her advantage there, wasn't she, to get through?
Right. And Renee Pickering just proving that no ball is safe around her.
Hurton just taking his time getting that ball, maybe taking a bit of a breather before the break at quarter time. Oh, risky swing. Nearly from sideline to sideline. Higgs follows it up though. Need to look inside. It's not long to go. You've got to let that ball go.
McCarthy drawing the contact call just there. And Billings.
Oh, falls a little bit short.
Uncharacteristic miss for her.
Might just be getting a little bit tired after a couple of hits.
Absolutely. She might have sore shoulders.
From carrying the weight of the team?
I didn't want to say it bluntly, but you put it out there.
No, she's been an absolute rock in goals for them.
Absolutely.
Adequately looked after there by Dowra and Green, but certainly been terrific for them in attack.
Victorian defensive pressure bringing true again. And that will be time. Victoria continue to build on their lead. 38 goals to 20 at the final break. We'll be right back after this ad.
Make them dance just like you, 'cause you make me move. Yeah, you always make me go. Run away with your footsteps. I will be sitting there, drinks for two. And if you lose yourself, I will find you.
Hello and welcome back to the final quarter of our mixed reserve division action between Victoria and ACT. Victoria have continued to build over this game and now have a commanding lead 38 to 20. Matthew Blomley joins me, the under-23 Victorian coach. Matt, what do you think ACT will look to get out of this last quarter?
I think they really need to want to. God, my English is terrific. They really need to capitalise on this ball. They've had opportunities. They're getting the ball into attack. They just haven't been finished off. They've stopped letting the ball go. So I really think they're going to want to finish with a win for the quarter, but maybe not the match.
Absolutely. Aim to take the quarter. So we see a host of changes from both teams. So Hannah Kuhar comes into the game at centre. Kate McCarthy moving into the goaling circle.
Couple of refeeds there. She's backs herself on that first shot. Unfortunately misses. Great rebound by Green.
Fantastic recovery. Always nice to have that back up in the circle. And Green comes up with the goods.
He doesn't miss many in there, Alex Green.
So, and we see Carly Simons coming out of the circle into wing attack. And the injection of Jim Teal back into the game at goal attack.
Maybe
Brianna
just trying
Toews
for a
also-
different target, I think, there in the goals. And Simon's drive's probably been their main drive through there. See how she goes at wing attack, if she can get the ball delivered in.
Certainly.
Kuha was caught a bit there, having decided where she's going to pass it straight away. But probably put a bit of pressure through there. Don't just run on, be aware of where the defender is.
Nice little combinations there.
Just a bit too much push on that again, McCarthy.
So McCarthy just needing to get her first one on the board here.
Nice delivery in. And finished by Green. Now I forgot to mention our other coverage that's happening at 8 PM in the Open Men's. Coming from Show Court 3, we've got South Australia versus WA. WA pushed the Victorian Opens in the last game very well, not a lot in it. How do you think that match is going to go?
Certainly not. I think Western Australia should be coming into this game full of confidence. So Jerome Gilbard played out of his skin today and did a fantastic job on Alistair Punchin and actually forced Christina Puopolo to show her cards a bit and bring on some of her more steady hands in Daniel Cook, Will Jamieson and Guy Keane and Andrew Simons to finish off the game. So fantastic effort by the entire WA team. So in bringing that form in against South Australia, they should look to come away with a win tonight.
Yeah, I imagine so. So Stuart Dent, very experienced campaigner at goal attack there, can get the ball through to Jerome in what seems like an absolute slither of a space.
Absolutely, and I believe if Gilbard fires the way he did this afternoon, there's no way that the SA Dragons will be able to stop that team. So, just previously mentioned that McCarthy got her first goal on the board there. See if she can consolidate from here with a few more.
Green just drawing another contact, puts the ball down, says, no, you take it, I'm going to get closer to the post.
McCarthy sizes it up. Doesn't come off, but Green there for the rebound.
And I think the way that attacking circle's going, they're willing for McCarthy to put up the long shot, knowing that Green's going to be there and support if she does miss.
Absolutely.
Great swing there. Probably need to stay upright in goals a little bit longer so the Toes can deliver the ball through.
Woodstock
Oh,
doesn't look like she wants it, and Hurton reads that one again beautifully.
yeah.
James Hurton's let next to nothing involved. James Hurton's let next to nothing get inside that circle.
I really would have liked seeing Woodstock want that ball again. You've done the refeed, just get yourself that little bit closer if you're not confident from range, but go again.
Absolutely. I say
Oh, terrific ball.
comes with the goal shooter bib. You've got to shoot the goals.
And that's exactly what Alex Green does there. Shoots the goal, finishes off,
That's right.
no doubt there.
I say we did speak very highly of Michael Dower in the first half, but Alex Green has been just as solid and just as capable for the Victorian team.
They play the role very differently, but it seems to be just as effective. Neither of them missed many shots and seem to have the confidence of their teammates in those positions.
That's right. McCarthy, again, just trying to find her groove here.
Oh, just gives a bit too much on it, hits the back of the ring.
And rebounded by Toes, but passed immediately back to Victoria.
Croft was all over that. He read that like a book, said, I'm going to have that, that is mine.
So it was a bit of a picture book there. It was pretty easy.
There was very few words in it, in fact.
That's my kind of book.
And once again, finished by Green.
All right.
ACT need to show a bit of heart here. Finish strongly. Well, it's good drive. Oh,
Nice
Simons.
defense by Croft. So Toes drawing the obstruction. Simons. A
Nope.
nice feed there to Teal. Can't keep his feet. Picked up by Byron.
A nice little game of ticky-touch, tap, 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 but
Yes.
picked up well.
So,
Oh, good long ball.
good vision from Hurton. McCarthy. Lucky to draw the contact penalty there, the Victorian
Yeah.
team.
Look, I think there was a good contest going on there. Maybe Toes gave a little bit too much on the way through. Umpire said, no, That's not okay. Bit of interference.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately gives them the penalty in the circle, which is finished off.
And it is important for teams to adjust to different umpiring techniques. As you say, the rules are open to interpretation to some degree, and as I say, sometimes you find you might get away with something down one end that you might not down the other.
Get a gauge of what you're being called for. Have a good dip. Play within the rules. That's what we love to see.
Adjust accordingly.
Some good hands over that centre.
And Croft again. Another touch.
Simon's starting to narrow vision through there. She's not seen that long one on. She's trying to go over. Croft's got terrific hands.
What's that? So McCarthy got her skates on and brought the ball straight back into the offensive half. A nice little shooter-to-shooter combination there.
Alex Green once again trying to indicate the umpire maybe it's a little bit close
Just
by bringing that
bumping up
front foot, but the umpire says,
That's
no
right.
thank you, you just shoot it.
Just working on the rebound stats there, Alex Green. Oh.
I'm not quite sure what the umpire's called there. She's decided to reset the centre.
I think I've got a my bad, we'll reset the centre kind of scenario.
But then she hasn't allowed the goal attack to get back. Look, no disadvantage there for the Victorians. But maybe a slight disadvantage for the Griffins who turned over that ball.
Shame for Renee Pickering, who came out like that was for her and grabbed it with two clean hands.
Okay, we need to see a good angle there.
Simons to
comes
Toes
through.
to
Terrific
Teal.
ball.
Back to Simons.
We need a goaler connection there. Both goalers trapped in the
Nice
circle,
touch from Colin Croft.
trying to cover that middle space.
Reaching that with plenty of time.
Oh, well stopped there, Alex Green. Looked like it was going out of court. Just puts his hand down, stamps it down, says, no, that is mine. I have it.
Patterson down in the circle. No one appears to do...
I don't know that it was necessarily noticed. It was her fault for trying to drive through no man's land. There was no space there.
No.
Hits the target. Pickering says, no, thank you.
So an outcry from the ACT bench, but it's all gone unnoticed. The Croft. Green holding beautiful space in the circle, but no one looking.
McCarthy probably doing a little bit too much out there, taking up a bit of space at the midcourt.
That's right.
Allow them to do their job,
So-
but good connection there.
And what we'd like to see from Kate McCarthy is some goals on the board. So she's doing well to facilitate Green, getting them nice and close to the post, but we'd love to see some more involvement from her.
Oh, good fight there.
Some nice defense there from Emily Toz.
That's the one she's been wanting all game. She's been fighting for it.
And you can see she has worked and worked and worked. She's exhausted, but she's come up with the goods there. May have taken a hit to the throat just by
The
the way
obstruction
she's
calls
moving.
taken straight away, but Eden up ahead.
James Hurton.
He's done that magnificently today. Anything that's outside the circle, all his.
And so cleanly too.
Oh, so clean. Not today. My house. All of those sort of cliche lines
Yes.
all over it.
Green, second bite of the apple. Brings up the half century for the Victorian team. It's noteworthy that in this half, Victoria's outscored ACT 25 to just 4.
Yeah, it has really shown the goals have not been put up by Griffins.
Very disappointing after a promising start from the Griffins.
Yeah, they showed great promise in that first quarter.
Nice vision there to Woodstock. Can't convert, unfortunately.
I think
Teal
maybe
picks
a
up the
couple of
crumbs.
injuries did affect them during that game. They set off well with that.
Certainly.
I think their first 7 was probably doing well, strong for them.
Absolutely. And we just see yet another change here. Weatherburn injected back into the game. Oh, your bib, my bib. Toes back to wing attack. Brianna Toes. Weatherburn at centre and Carly Simons taking a spell.
Oh, got a bit excited there. There was a bit of a contest. Contact girl, she stepped it straight on. Probably just a bit excitable, needed to settle up.
Absolutely. So what this Victorian team will be looking to do here is boost their percentage and make sure they're still really efficient with the ball in these last 5
In
minutes.
the last 5 minutes, you absolutely want to consolidate. And if you're one of those players, you want to show your coach that you're the one doing everything they've asked.
Yes. So in the Griffins, they're just showing a really nice transition passage of play. Woodstock, again, doesn't even look at the post. Just
I would have liked seeing Woodstock bring the threat of the shot. We've said that a couple of times. You've got that bib on, you've got the goal shooter bib on. Shoot the ball.
Shoot the goal.
Oh,
Not much in the way of options. Well read by Weatherburn.
yeah, that was well covered by the Griffins. Terrific defence. Not sure
So-
what Victorians were trying to set up, but it didn't seem to work.
No. So, and Woodstock steps this one in, looks to offload. Nice take by Teal under duress.
And falls for a little bit from Byron there. She takes a
Refeed to
step back
Woodstock.
with the out of play.
And there we go. Another goal there for the Griffins.
Teal wants Woodstock. Ah, terrific ball.
Finds Woodstock on
Hurton
the goal
just
line.
found a little bit off the body there. Not quite sure where she was. Well flighted ball.
That's right. Woodstock seems to be taking our expert commentary advice on board here and has just hit 2 in 20 seconds to shut me up. So full credit to Bethany Woodstock there.
If there's one thing we both know as commentators this week, is that if we say something, guarantee the players will do the opposite.
Fantastic. So McCarthy looking for Kuhar. Finds her on the second.
Green just opens at last minute, probably a bit too much of a lunge there.
So nice,
Had the player in behind him.
nice touch by Ben Todd. Not much in the way of options there.
Right. I do
Pickering
think
not
the
far off.
Victorians are tiring a little bit. They're not setting
Certainly.
up. They're getting a little bit lazy.
So Kate McCarthy there establishing her space. And
Oh,
there she
terrific
goes.
shot. Not a question as soon as she released that one.
No.
Teal's
So,
given a bit more
again,
of goal
looking for
attack
that
towards
back-
the end of this quarter.
Sorry, Matt.
Teal's given a bit more at the end of this quarter. I'm liking the fact that he's getting himself amongst it a bit more.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Oh,
bit of confusion on the
again, some
throw-in.
confusion.
The umpire's saying, no, Victoria's ball. ACT's going, but I've got it. It's clearly mine.
That's right. So, saying Weatherburn just using that turn of pace to crash that contest again.
Good support, Hurton. Drives it
Kuhar
up.
picks it up, puts it down.
McCarthy for the shot again.
Again.
Terrific offload. She sold that well. They're falling for it each time she's given that little fake.
That's right. Committing the defender to come off the body and they're just finding that nice easy pass to Alex Green.
Oh, looks for the long one. Probably a little bit too much on it. Although, I think that's where Green was first holding. He got it, allowed himself to be moved off it.
Yes. And a nice touch there from Kate Patterson to bring the ball back to Victoria.
Sneaky little contact outside. Just slows up play, gives the
Nice
circle
touch from
defence a
Todd.
chance to have a go.
Nice quick release on the long ball there from Kate Patterson. McCarthy, Dunny rolls out, just can't make it drop.
Oh,
Oh,
Croft goes
risky
hunting. He was a bit unsure himself, but went, yes, I've got it. I haven't gone
So
offside.
some tidy defence work this quarter from Colin Croft. So not only playing at centre in the first half, but also coming on at wing defence with a fantastic impact.
Having his hands over that ball been terrific. He's caused a lot of turnovers, not necessarily from his own hands, but from forcing the ball over.
Absolutely. And he stayed clean with it too. I don't think he's been out of play once yet, which is fantastic to see.
Green looks to finish here just as we're about to enter the last minute of play.
Victoria now leading by 29, 53-24.
Oh, just hits the foot there. Victoria want a clean delivery to finish off. You want to finish on a positive.
So the whistle's been gone, but Kuhar and Weatherburn both refusing to give the ball up. Never say die. A nice offload there from Kuhar. Green.
Kuhar probably lucky then. She stepped it forward,
I
passed
believe
it.
so.
The umpire said, no, give me a chance to set the penalty. A good finish, as you said, by Green.
That's right, Green finding the front space there. The lead now, 30 goals. Victoria looking for one last roll of the dice here.
Oh,
Nice take from McCarthy. She says, why can't I have it here? I'm already here. And that-
lovely shot. That may be one of the last shots of the match. It was terrific. As
Yeah.
I say that. It was the last shot of the match. It was a terrific shot to finish on.
And a nice way to finish the game there from Kate McCarthy. Final score being 55 for Victoria and 24 for the Australian Capital Territory. So thanks for tuning in. Don't go away. We've got some exciting games coming up. And we'd like to thank our major sponsor, Game Clothing. Thanks for watching.
We'll be right back.